what I have to say to Canelo is this. You proved yourself already. You proved yourself. You fought a lot of great fighters. You tested yourself. You went up in weight to numerous weight classes. Like myself and like other fighters throughout the years. Same thing with Pacquiao. You know, Canelo is a great fighter. Canelo is a hell of a fighter. He's a hell of a fighter. And everyone is now saying that he's not the same fighter. He's not looking the same.
His next fight coming up is going to be with...
It's a lot of wear and tear. Boxing is a lot of wear and tear.
Yeah. Yeah. And those guys are younger.
Yeah.
And hungrier.
Boxing is a lot of wear and tear. You can get old overnight. You can. It's how boxing is.
Terence Crawford showed off his new physique in preparation for his upcoming super middleweight division debut versus Canelo Alvarez. Now, World Boxing News reported that Crawford still currently weighs 185 pounds, which is 17 pounds more than the 168 pounds limit. However, according to Snack CEO Victor Key, people need to chill and stop being too nosy about this whole thing because first and foremost, we're still 6 weeks away from fight night, implying that there's still plenty of time to meet the required weight. Floyd Mayweather Jr. has never been one to hold back when sharing his opinions. And ahead of the upcoming mega fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, the former world champion made some bold statements that have certainly turned heads. What I have to say to Canelo is this. You proved yourself already. You proved yourself. You fought a lot of great fighters. You tested yourself. You went up in weight onto numerous weight classes like myself and like other fighters throughout the years. Same thing with Pacquiao. You know, Canelo is a great fighter. Canelo is a hell of a fighter. He's a hell of a fighter. And everyone is now saying that he's not the same fighter. He's not looking the same. His next fight coming up is going to be with it's a lot of wear and tear. Boxing is a lot of wear and tear. Yeah. Yeah. And those guys are younger. Yeah. And hungrier. Boxing is a lot of wear and tear. You can get old overnight. You can. This is how boxing is. The stage is set for an electrifying showdown on September 13th at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, where the undisputed super middleweight title will be up for grabs. Canelo Alvarez, the reigning champion, will put his belt on the line against Terence Crawford, the undefeated fighter from Omaha, who is making the leap up 2 weight classes to challenge the Mexican powerhouse. While both men have held undisputed titles in their respective divisions, this fight presents unique challenges, particularly for Crawford, who will be stepping up to super middleweight for the first time in his career. Do you feel that Terence has a shot in beating Canelo offers? That's the million-dollar question. When I watched Terence Crawford get rattled and rocked by Yorkie's Gamboa, who's a natural 30-pounder, that to me is going to be a huge problem when he gets hit by Canelo, so he fights at 175. He's fighting these big monsters, he's not getting rattled at all. Berlanga is a big kid, so it makes me think, how is Crawford going to keep him away for 12 rounds? Canelo is going to come at him hard, right? But then again, I think about Crawford's abilities and his IQ and his footwork, and which Canelo cannot handle. And we know that for a fact. It happened with Bevo. It happened with Mayweather, who schooled him left and right with no problem. And he and Canelo was way stronger than Mayweather. So does you think Canelo is a better fighter than he was then? Today a better fight. Yeah. Yeah. A little better. Yeah. His footwork is still the same. He's flat-footed. He's very heavy on his feet. Obviously, Canelo has the power to hurt anyone. In this game, powers means a lot. If you can't keep your guy off you or you don't know how because it's too much pressure, and the one thing about Crawford is that he knows how to handle the pressure. He's a savvy boxer, you know, and he doesn't run. He doesn't, and he has that heart. He's a dog. He has that heart. You want to fight me, I'm gonna fight you. Canelo, already a 2-time undisputed champion at 168 pounds, comes into the fight having recently conquered former IBF champion William Skull. This victory in Riyadh earlier this year cemented his place in boxing history as the first fighter to hold undisputed status at this weight. On the other hand, Crawford has dominated at welterweight, most notably with his historic win over Errol Spence Jr., which earned him the distinction of being the first undisputed champion in the four-belt era. However, Crawford has yet to face a fighter as big and powerful as Canelo, making this a significant step up in competition for him. Maybe he's a little overrated. Terence Crawford vs. Canelo vs. Canelo. 68 pounds. Canelo's really good. Really good. But I think Crawford is special. I know he hasn't fought the resume everyone wants, but his you have that or you don't have that ingredient. And I think he has it. Canelo's really good. He's tremendous. But could he be a tiny bit overrated? The greatness is within Crawford. It's in his desire. It's in his mind. It's in his makeup. Where he came from. Mayweather, a retired legend who famously handed Canelo his first defeat back in 2013, has been outspoken about his feelings toward both fighters. Reflecting on his past bout with Canelo, Mayweather did not mince words, labeling the fight as an easy one, despite the intense pressure surrounding the match at the time. It was a cakewalk. Mayweather claimed the guy was nothing. He even went so far as to suggest that at nearly 40 years old, he still made light work of Canelo, implying that the Mexican fighter's skill set was not as remarkable as it's often made out to be. He can pick and choose who he want to fight. And I'm going to tell y'all the truth about Canelo mother easy, man. Easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude. This dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude. Easy. In contrast, Mayweather expressed his admiration for Crawford, recognizing the unbeaten American as the current best in the sport. This praise puts Crawford in rarefied air, with Mayweather ranking him ahead of other stars including Canelo as the top fighter in boxing today. Crawford's accolades, including his past victories over top opponents and his unbeaten record, have made him a formidable presence in the sport. I think Terence Crawford right now in the sport of boxing is the pound-for-pound best fighter in the sport of boxing right now. How good is Crawford? Crawford is amazing. Not just good, he's amazing. And he said the same thing about you. I thank you, Terence, but I think he should be in the book for how to learn boxing, you know. Really? For me, pound for pound. Number 1 is Darren Crawford. I like this man. It's a great fighter. I think it's Crawford first. However, the fight will not be easy for Crawford. Many pundits, including fellow fighters, have weighed in on how the two boxers' unique skill sets might play out. One such figure is Jesse "Bam" Rodriguez, a rising star in the sport, who has expressed his belief that Crawford has what it takes to win despite the challenges posed by Canelo's power and size. Meanwhile, Canelo's power could flip the fight on its head with just one punch, making it a tough battle to predict. Rodriguez, despite facing some backlash from fans, confidently stated that he favors Crawford in this fight, citing the American's superior boxing IQ and technical skill. Before I let you go, I do need to get your opinion on Canelo Crawford. How do you think that fight plays out? It's a difficult fight. Crawford, he has the skills to box and stay on the outside, but Canelo has the power to size advantage. So, it's a very difficult fight to call. I know Crawford will have to box a perfect fight for 12 rounds. Canelo can change the fight with one punch. So, it's a very difficult fight. I've been saying that I favor Crawford. People don't like it, but it is what it is. I would favor Crawford in this fight. The fight is poised to be a fascinating clash of styles, and much of the attention is on how Crawford, who has excelled at welterweight, will fare against a fighter who has spent most of his career at the super middleweight division. The size difference between the two could be a critical factor. Many have noted that few fighters are successful in moving up 2 weight classes to take on a fighter as accomplished as Canelo. This issue was also raised by Aries Landy Lara, who has faced Canelo in the past. While Lara's bout with Canelo ended in a hotly contested split decision loss, he believes Crawford's best chance at success would be to maintain his movement using his legs to avoid Canelo's power early in the fight. According to Lara, if Crawford can keep the fight from turning into a physical slugfest, he has a shot at victory. He sees as a very interesting 50-50th fight. He feels that Canelo is very strong right now and he wants to figure out to see how Crawford's going to handle the power, especially in the early rounds, and what's going to happen. So yeah, he said he remembers fighting Canelo back 14 years ago it is now, and he said he remembers he used his legs real good, and as long as Crawford uses his legs and he doesn't let Canelo just hit him in the arms and beat him up in the arms, he has a very good chance of fighting. While many experts are speculating about how the fight might unfold, Liam Smith, another former Canelo opponent, shared his thoughts on the Mexican's punching power. Smith, who has been hit by Canelo during sparring sessions, surprisingly downplayed the power, suggesting that he's been hit harder in training than he was by Canelo. However, Smith emphasized that what makes Canelo dangerous is not just his power, but his defensive capabilities. He said Canelo's power was okay. That's the question the average man asked me on the street, and I'm like, no. Not no, because he obviously was. But I've been hit harder and sparring off people. It was more how good he was. He had me twitching. His relaxed shoulders, his relaxed style had me like a feint. Despite Smith's observations, former world champion Tim Bradley has a very different take on the situation. Bradley, who is also predicting a Crawford win, has questioned Canelo's recent performances, particularly in his last few outings.